AFC World Cup qualifiers are back as well, where we could see Iran and South Korea qualify for the World Cup during this international break. And then there's a huge battle for third place in Group A. Group B, Saudi Arabia can continue their good momentum. They have a huge match with Japan in the second match day of January. And then as well, Australia have two must-win games because their final two games are against Japan and Saudi Arabia. So this is a big month in AFC World Cup qualifiers where we could see two teams qualify and then a huge battle in Group B. Further ado, let's get to the preview and predictions. Remember to give your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe if you're new around here. And further ado, let's get to the video. So here are the standings for Group A in AFC World Cup qualifiers. Like I talked about, Iran and South Korea can qualify for the World Cup if they win both of their matches during this break. Currently, South Korea have 8-point advantage over UAE, while Iran have a 2-point edge over South Korea and a 10-point edge over the UAE. And then there's just a massive battle for third place. UAE currently occupy that spot. Lebanon, Iraq, and can't rule out Syria either, are all separated by 4 points for that third spot, which would qualify them to the playoff in AFC. So let's get to match day 7 of these World Cup qualifiers, where there is a big game already where Iran are taking on Iraq. Big game, as we all know. The match will be playing in Iran. Hopefully there's a crowd there. I have absolutely no clue. Obviously, if some of my Iranian subscribers can let me know, will there be fans there? With this game, Iraq have a new manager. They got rid of Dick Advocat. It never made sense why they hired him. The new manager, Zeljko Petrovic. I never really heard of him. I'm not too sure how he is as a manager, if he's attacking wise, defensive sort of manager. So it's going to be interesting to see how Iraq will set up here. I can only see one winner here. It's in Iran. They're at home. It's going to be a 2-0 victory for them. They're on a great momentum. They've been playing some scintillating football. So I can only just see a one winner in this matchup. Skokic has done an amazing job so far with Iran. It's a 2-0 win for Iran. The next matchup we have, it is Lebanon taking on South Korea. This should be a very good game because Lebanon are a very tricky side. They are defensive. Hashek, their manager, has done, I think, a very good job with this Lebanese side. They're only 1 point behind for that third place and heading to the playoffs. So you cannot write off this Lebanon side. South Korea, we know there's no Hwang Hee-chan. We know there's no Heung-min Son. So other players got to step up for South Korea. This is a good opportunity to see the squad depth in terms of, for Paulo Bento, the manager of South Korea. I'm excited to see what South Korea can produce without their two best players. They have won most of their games 1-0, 2-0. They keep a lot of the ball. They create a lot of chances, South Korea. They just can simply not finish. I don't know what it is. They simply cannot finish. I wouldn't be even shocked if Lebanon won this game, to be honest. But I'm going to go with the South Korea win here. I think they're going to win the game 1-0. The next matchup, and this is a big game for both teams, it's the UAE taking on Syria. Now, Syria have fired their manager, and in comes in Valerio Dicha, so I don't know about this manager either. We know UAE, there's no Ali Makbouk. He's just injured, unfortunately. So Bert van Marwijk, the Dutch manager who obviously led the Netherlands to the 2010 World Cup final, he is the manager of the UAE. This is going to be a good game. I think when these two sides first met up, I think it was a very entertaining matchup from what I remember. Let me quickly remember myself. It was a 1-1, yeah. So I could see a similar situation here where it could be a draw. And I think Syria have to win this game. I think with Syria, they have tough matches ahead of them. They got South Korea at home, then they're going to go away to Lebanon, and they host Iraq at home. So this is a must-win, I think, for Syria if they want to still fight for that third place. So I think for this matchup, I'm going to go for Ali Makbouk. That's a big miss for UAE. He's their top goal scorer. So I think it's going to end 1-1. I think Syria will get a bounce back. New manager. They did okay in the Arab Cup. I think they picked up 1 win. So I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory. No, sorry, excuse me. 1-1 between UAE and Syria. We move on then to match day 8 in this group. I'm going to give you just my quick match predictions because I'll be having live streams discussing about this, guys. So hopefully you guys join me for the live streams. If you want to come on and share your thoughts about your national team, if your national team is playing, you are more than welcome to. But quick predictions, Iran versus UAE. I think it's another Iran win. They're just so good at home that you cannot go against them. If they lose at home, that would be an absolute shocker to me. So I think it's going to be another 2-0 victory for Iran. Syria versus hosting South Korea. Now, this is why I just want to see. This is why I want to see the game for South Korea against Lebanon. I want to see how South Korea will react without having Son and Hwang Hee-chan. So for now, I think it's going to be another 1-0 victory for South Korea. I know it's boring, guys. I know it's like, 1-0, 1-0. But this side just don't score goals. They don't They don't concede a lot, and they just don't score a lot. So it's going to be 1-0 for South Korea. And then this could be a massive game. Lebanon taking on Iraq. Now, I'm leaning towards a Lebanon win because Iraq have 2 away games in this break. This is a big momentum for them because I think their final 2 games are at home, if I'm not mistaken. No, their final game is away at Syria. So this is a big game for Iraq. They got to win it. And this is why I got to see what happens in the match day previous. So for now, I'm going to go with a 1-1. I think it's going to be a stalemate. I don't see either team blowing each other away. I don't see a lot of goals. Both teams don't concede a lot of goals. Both teams don't score a lot of goals. I think it'll be 1-1 between Lebanon and Iraq. So that's my overview and preview of Group A. Give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. And let's move on to Group B. Now it's talking about Group B action, where Saudi Arabia have a 4-point edge. They're starting to create a little buffer between them and Japan and Australia. Japan are in second place with 12 points. They've recovered after a disastrous first couple of games. Australia, they're kind of fading a little bit, but they're still there with Japan to get that second automatic spot in the group. Australia are on 11 points. Oman, they got to keep up and they got to win their games. They're on 7 points. China, they're in there with a shot, but I think they're starting to fade a little bit. They have a new manager as well. China, they have a manager in Lee Xiaopeng, who's managed, I think, only in the Chinese Super League. And then poor old Vietnam at the bottom with 0 points. Hopefully they get a point, or just, hopefully they get a point. That's all I want. That's all I hope for every Vietnamese fan. But this is going to be a vital break for especially Australia. But we'll get on to them. First game we have, it is Japan taking on China. We know in the first matchup, Japan hit the post, I don't know, a gazillion times. It could have ended 3-0. I think the final score was 1-0, if I'm not mistaken, between Japan and China. It's at home for Japan. They're on a good momentum. They got all their players coming. I was reading reports that maybe they wouldn't qualify because of obviously COVID issues with players coming from Europe to Japan. They don't want them to carry the variant and all that stuff, the pandemic. I think Japan will win this game comfortably, even though China have a new manager, Lee Xiaopeng. I don't think the new manager bounce will work. It's going to be 2-0 for Japan. Australia versus Vietnam. Australia have two must-win games. They have to win these games because their last 2 games for Australia is Japan at home and Saudi Arabia away. You better win these next 2 games if you're Graham Arnold's side. I do not want to see them lose. Graham Arnold, he's under a lot of pressure. You have Vietnam at home. This is a perfect opportunity to get a convincing win. We know Vietnam, they're a gritty side. They don't have a lot of possession of the ball. They can do something on the counterattack, but Australia have to win this game. I think it's going to be 3-0 Australia. If they don't win this game, and if they don't beat Oman, Australia are in serious trouble of not qualifying to the World Cup. They would have to go through the playoff. And we know AFC is going to face CONMEBOL in the Intercontinental Playoffs. But I think Australia will win this game 3-0. Then we have Saudi Arabia against Oman. The first time these 2 teams met, it was an entertaining game. Saudi Arabia held on for, I think it was a 1-0 victory. Oman had a great chance in the final couple minutes. So I could see a similar situation here, but with Hervé Renard, this guy's just an international manager savant. He is just so good managing international teams. I could see a similar situation here. I know Saudi Arabia, they didn't perform well at the Arab Cup. They fielded a lot of youngsters in that team, so they didn't really take it seriously. But I mean, with Saleh Al-Shariri, Saudi Arabia are a good side. They're at home. They're always a good home side. I think they have a full crowd there, so it's going to be 2-0 Saudi Arabia. Even though Oman have been very impressive, and I've been very impressed with Ivan Kovic, the manager, it's just too difficult in Saudi Arabia. It's 2-0 victory for Saudi Arabia. Then quick match predictions. Like I said previously in the video, I'm going to live streams and talk about the matches and preview these games that are coming in match day 8 for AFC. But quickly, Japan versus Saudi Arabia. This is going to be good. This is going to be a good match. We know the first time these 2 teams met, Saudi Arabia beat Japan at home. So I think this is going to be an entertaining game. I could see Japan getting the win here because they're at home. Get some revenge. 2-1 Japan. That's going to be my quick prediction. Oman versus Australia, like I said, Graham Arnold's side, they better win this game. They got to win this. They have to win these next 2 games. Because you just cannot, if you come away with 4 points, okay. If you come away with a win and a loss, it could be detrimental to their status of qualifying automatically to the World Cup, because you got to go at home to Japan and away. So Australia, this is vital for them. This is huge. So I'm worried for Australia because this is going to be a tough games. And I think I was reading somewhere that there is no Mobile. That's a big miss as well. So Mitchell Duke, as we all know, Martin Boyle, they got to step up for Australia against Oman. I think Australia will win 1-0. But it's just how I want to see how they play against Vietnam at home. In the final game, we have Vietnam taking on China. I know Vietnam have been horrible. They have looked lifeless. They have shown no impetus to win a game. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to pick up their first points in World Cup qualifiers, AFC. Vietnam are going to win this game 2-1. Book it. I might look like a fool for that, but hey, you always got a dream. 2-1 for Vietnam in this game. There you have it, my AFC World Cup qualifiers preview and prediction for the January break. This is a big month for Australia, like I talked about. I don't want to keep going on and on about it, but this is vital for them. Iran and South Korea, I think they will qualify after this break. I think they will win both of their games and qualify to the World Cup later this year. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. You can give me your predictions, you can give me your thoughts. And if I have missed anything in this video, please let me know in the comment section down below. That will help me then prepare for the live streams. And speaking of the live streams, hopefully you join me for the live streams. You can give me your thoughts of your national team, if your national team is playing in the AFC, or if you're just a fan of any of those teams. But have a beautiful day. Remember to like and subscribe if you are new around here for continual World Cup qualifiers videos. Have a beautiful day, guys. Stay safe, and adios.